Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about the full moon. It's on April 12, it's at 23 degrees of Libra, and it is opposite the Sun and Chiron. What does this mean for you? That's what we're going to talk about. Welcome everybody, especially if you're new. This video is going to be a little bit different than past videos. This video is in 3 parts. First, we're going to do a short overview of what this full moon is about. Then we're going to talk about your sign, love and money predictions for the next 2 weeks. And then at the end of this video, there's a little section of announcements that I have and classes that are coming up and other things. And by the way, if you'd like a copy of your chart so you could follow along on these videos, I can send you a PDF. There's a link in the description. So let's take a look at this full moon chart and how it relates to what's going on in your life. So I think that the thing that most people are looking for right now is some sense of certainty. This is really hard to find when we have a couple of planets retrograde. Neptune has just gone into a new sign, and we had the recent eclipses. So things going on in the world are actually quite uncertain right now. And if there's one thing that people hate, it's uncertainty. So along comes a full moon in Libra and the desire for balance. And so this is, when you think about it, Libra is about the scales. So the scales are in constant motion. They are looking for balance. They are rocking back and forth all the time. And so the scales represent this uncertainty. And we're all wishing for the scales to be perfectly balanced and perfectly still, but they're only that for a moment, because the moment they are, then we say, oh, I want a little bit more, or I want a little bit less, or I want something different. And the scales become out of balance again. There's this nagging feeling that so many people have right now of uncertainty about their jobs or inflation or what's going on in the world. And during this full moon time, it would be better for you to realize that the uncertain path is actually the path that leads to success. You see, all of the areas of your life that feel certain are the areas you've already explored, and these have not brought you what you've wanted. And so the uncertain areas on the map are actually the potential solution to what it is that you want: the better job, the more money, the fulfilling relationship, the just having more fun. It's when you take the uncertain path that you're creative, that you are discovering ideas, where you're helping the world, where you have this fulfilling life. This full moon is opposite Chiron, and most people think of Chiron as the wounded healer. But Chiron is also the portal. It's the open door, and it's sitting with the Sun in Aries, which suggests taking action. Now you might ask, well, what action should you take? Well, Chiron in Aries, Aries being the sign of innovation and raw energy, would say do something different than you've done before. And this is the full moon, so this action should be the biggest and the boldest action that you can do. Maya Angelou said something in her autobiography. She said, I looked up the road I was going and back the way I come. And since I wasn't satisfied, I decided to step off the road and cut me a new path. This full moon is halfway through the lunar cycle. This is the perfect time to check the path forward and back, and if you're dissatisfied, to embrace uncertainty and cut a new path, because it's the uncertain road that leads to success. Okay, Capricorn, this full moon's lighting up your house of career, and so this is a perfect opportunity for you to look behind and say, okay, where did I come from? How did I get here? How long have I been at this company? Has it been good experience? And then turn and look forward and say, where am I heading? Where's the company heading? Is this company strong? Is this a good path for me to be on? If you are looking ahead and you're not seeing that there's a future for you in this company, it is really time to either start looking for a new job or start a business, or to do something where you are not going to need this job anymore. So, and of course, when you're looking ahead, it may be something that you're seeing 10 years from now, that we're not going to need this thing because of AI or whatever. Or you're seeing, oh, this is imminent. In 6 months, this company could be really stumbling. And so then you would have to move a little bit quicker. But this full moon is a perfect time to look back and to look forward and to assess your position and see if you need to cut a new path. And if you would like to know more about what's ahead for you in business, your career, or anything in your life, I do readings. There's a link in the description. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, Venus is making a conjunction with Saturn, and that's a great aspect. The biggest problem, I would say, is everything is very low in the chart. It's below the horizon. It's a little bit hidden. And that means that love could be out there looking for you, but you haven't left the house. And so it's time to almost, like you have to kind of encourage yourself to get up and get out of the house, go to parties, go accept the invitations for dates or social engagements, go to clubs and networking. Try to get out of the house because this is good energy for meeting someone new. Now, when it comes to your existing love relationships, it is a different story. The moon's making an inconjunct with Saturn. And that means that the two of you may be needing to make some adjustments. And you could make adjustments as a couple. Now, that would be something like you're moving, so that's a huge adjustment. Or one of you has a schedule change, and that affects childcare, so that's maybe still a huge adjustment. But it may be an adjustment between the two of you where you both need to give a little about something that you are stuck on. And recognizing that through compromise, we can get a stronger love relationship. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money both from Uranus and Saturn, and both are making an inconjunct to this full moon. And that means that there are lots of things that you know that you could do to make more money, but for some reason you don't want to do them. Now, the interesting thing is that with this, it's called a yod, and it is that there's two inconjuncts and a sextile. The sextile is between Saturn and Uranus, and that sextile is your key. That is looking at the conventional ways of doing things and the innovative ways of doing things and finding some sort of middle ground between the two of those. And so that might be something like, handwritten notes, but it's written by a machine, or, something where you're combining the old world and the new world into something that is doing the thing that you know you need to do, which whether that's marketing or more research in your business or something that makes you money. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, it's a very interesting situation because the sun is doing a semi-sextile on one side to Uranus and a semi-sextile to Saturn on the other side. So the sun's really the midpoint of the yod. And so the sun is about your talents and your abilities. It's where you shine. And so this is the most important part, is putting yourself forward. As you do, then more money comes. And that is, actually seeing your broker and saying, this is what I need, or talking to your employees, thinking about your business in terms of you shining, you showing your talents, you telling the world how you're going to make the world a better place. That's what's going to bring you money from these two sources. Now, when it comes to money from your career, so that would be a paycheck, you actually have one of the best charts of this reading, and that is that I have to check, hold on, Mars is making a trine to Saturn and a sextile to Uranus. So that is that you have a real opportunity to make more money in your job or by changing jobs. So keep your eyes open for some sort of communication, maybe from a manager. This probably will come as like they drop a hint, and then you can then pick that hint up and run with it. And if you are looking for a new job, that you could negotiate to get more money. Hi everyone, I thought I might change things up a little bit this time, and so I'm putting announcements at the end. So if you're interested in what is going on and what I have coming up, stay tuned. Otherwise, you can just jump off right here. So I've been looking for a way to connect with you guys, more. And so I've been doing these classes, New Month Wishes. They're at the beginning of the month. I started with a live stream and then I moved it to Zoom. So this next one is on April 1st at noon Pacific time, and it is on Zoom. It's free if you guys want to register. There's a link in the description. So what we do in this class is we briefly talk about the energies of the upcoming month, And then we write our wishes together, and then as a group, we energize them together to give them more power. And so, but mostly this is just an opportunity for us to actually have a conversation. And so if you're interested, like I said, this one's going to be April 1st at noon Pacific time. So, and I know that doesn't work for everybody's schedule because I think it's a Tuesday. So I've been thinking about whether to try to move it again back to a live stream and a recorded version. So, but then it misses the whole interacting with you guys. So I'm not sure what to do. So if you have a thought about that, you can put it in the comments. I'm very interested in expanding this channel and doing more videos on Western astrology, Chinese astrology, and feng shui. And so, and if you like this content, I have opened it up to memberships now through YouTube. So if you do want to support the channel, there is a join button next to the subscribe button. So I hope you're already subscribed. And then if you'll hit that join button, if you want to support the channel, it's totally optional. In a few weeks, I'm going to be teaching a class for NCGR New Jersey. NCGR is the National Council of Geocosmic Research. It is one of the astrology organizations that's in the world. And NCGR actually has individual chapters. And so I'm on the board of the San Diego chapter. I'm going to be speaking for the New Jersey chapter. And if you are interested, you can join in because this is a Zoom class. And so I'm going to be talking about the astrology of home. And that is how your fourth house in your natal chart tells us what the ideal home situation would be for you. Also, we're going to talk about transits that could signal a move and whether you can make money in real estate. So if you're interested in that class, then just click the link in the description, and then there is a charge for that class. I think it's $15. But all the information is there when you click on the link. And then finally, I have a newsletter. It's been a monthly newsletter for ages. And then a couple of months ago, I moved it to a weekly newsletter where I talk about the different energies for each day. And then you see some of the pictures that I'm posting on Instagram. And so that is a free newsletter, and the link is in the description. And that's about it. I have more announcements that I'm going to be making in future videos. I have some new video courses coming out, and so we'll talk about it then. And because you stayed all the way to the end, which I really appreciate, I have a very special picture. This is not the last cat I had, but the cat before that. This cat was very good at opening doors, and since this whole video was about the portal that the Chiron can make for you, opening a new door, I thought I would share this.